Hey everyone, it's Karen, and on today's episode, I have author Sanye from Instagram. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
All right, as usual, I have plenty of questions. So you ready to dive into this?
Let's get it.
All right, let's go. First question I have, how do you find time to write?
I find time writing any and whenever, wherever. If something sparks in my brain, I'm writing it down. I'm taking a voice note, and then I just go from there.
I like that. I do that too with I never thought of voice notes, but I type my stuff out in notes or try to find a piece of paper or something at work. But I like that.
hmm
Next question I have is what is the best time of day for you to write?
I don't typically have a best time to do it. It's literally if something sparks in my brain, I'm the type of person that I'm gonna get it down. Like I can be at work and I can overhear something, or I can be scrolling on Facebook and I can see something, and I'll be like, "Ooh, I could do something with that." So I'll write it down, and then probably when I get home, I'll try to put it into a story or create a scenario and write it down. So I'm constantly writing something.
Yeah, that's awesome. So the next question I have for you is how do you know what to write?
I don't. I don't. I really don't. I have so many different ideas that I'll just write down, and I already have like pre-made covers for books that I want to do.
hmm
So I can look at the cover and I can be like, okay, this is going to be a love story with erotica in it.
hmm
So I could be like, okay, so when I see something that sparks an interest, I'll write it down, and then I pretty much in my head I copy and paste everything. So it's just like, okay, I wrote this down 3 days ago and I feel like this can go good with this story. So I'll put it in that folder, and then eventually I'll have to sit down and kind of put everything in order, break down chapters and things like that.
I actually have folders too. I've never heard of anybody else having folders. Well, I don't have folders. I have notebooks. I consider them folders, but I'm like, oh, this little piece of sticky note goes with you, and then so
Exactly.
they're
It's my it's my organized chaos.
same.
hmm
The next question I have for you is how long does it take you to write a book?
It depends on the topic, and it depends on how invested I am in the story because I procrastinate. It took me 21 years to finish a story. Like I started it in 2000. I didn't put it out until 2022. It
Same.
just depends on how invested I am. Um Depends on how life is going, trying to work 9 to 5, be a wife, be a mom is a lot that goes into it. So
Yeah, I don't understand. I'm not on the wife and mom level, but I get the work. So I'm not 8 to 4:30 for me, but and then I do college, and this, and then writing, and just photography, and then I have my little pets. I have a beta fish, another one. So yeah, I have my own children. I
yeah,
gotta
I
handle.
have a husband. I have 3 kids and a nephew. I got 2 dogs. So life be life. And
Yes, you got way more than I do. I thought I had with college I had a lot, but yeah, no, that's enough.
Mm.
So, um, The next question I have for you is what is the most difficult part of writing a book?
The most difficult part for me, because I'm low key a perfectionist, like I will go over it six, seven, eight, nine times. And then I could be like, oh, I can take this out and I can add this. So that for me, it's kind of just like ending the story because I'm always gonna go back and try to, oh well, this sounds better. Oh, I can add more here. So that to me is the hardest part, is being okay with what I have instead of trying to go and perfect it, if that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. Well, to me anyways. I understand. I was raised to be a perfectionist. Like it was really drilled heavily into my lifestyle, so I have to do pretty much a lot perfect and I'm trying to unlearn that because it's not and not everything's perfect. So, but
Hmm.
no, I like I said, I totally get the perfection part. So, the next question I have for you is did you self-publish or did you go the traditional route and why?
I did self publish
Okay.
because I'm greedy. I wanted to keep as much money as possible.
Mhm.
Like I one thing I will say, self-publishing is not for the weak. Like everything comes out of my pocket. I
Yes.
gotta pay for the covers of the books. I have to pay for the editing of the book. I have to pay for the actual book, ordering the books. I have to ship the books out. It's a lot. So part of me is just like, maybe I should have just went the traditional route and just pay somebody 20%, and then I don't got to do all this extra stuff. But I love the freedom of self-publishing because I can write when I want. I'm not on anybody's time
Yes.
schedule,
Yeah.
you know. I don't have to worry about somebody else trying to critique what I wrote and, oh, well, no, you should do this because it'll flow better. To you, it'll flow better, not to me. In my head, I already have it how I want.
Yes.
It's my work, so I'm going to do it my way. So that's why I chose to self publish.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I originally wanted to do traditional when I was younger because I was like, they can just do all the work. And then as I got older, I'm like, no, I want to self-publish how you just said about, well, this will flow better. No, no, I've made my mind up. No, no means
Hmm.
no. Like, so, and then also I like the feeling of being able to actually would be able, well, whenever I do get my books out there would be able to mail it off, like you said. I cannot wait
Hmm.
for that because I can like write little thank you note, like personal letter. I like that too. I'm like so old school, it's unreal. Yes, I'm only 29, but my parents raised me as what they were. So I'm really like 50, almost 60, I feel like. So but okay, next question I have, because I'm getting off topic a little bit from you. So, how did you get your book deal? Well, since you didn't do that, I guess, what made you want to do that
um,
a little bit more?
for me, it was kind of an homage to my best friend that passed away. Like my very first story, me and her wrote a fan fiction story about B2K all the way back in like 2001 probably. And it's always been like a dream of ours to kind of like get into film and work with them and things like that. And when she passed away, I was just like, well, I need something to kind of like keep her with me. Yes, I have our memories. Yes, I have pictures and I have a pendant with her face on it. But I was like, that's personal. If I write, everybody can get like a little tiny piece of her. And I feel like that was probably the biggest push for me, was to just like keep her memory alive, to where I have a book of her poetry. So I'm trying to incorporate that into books in the future to kind of just, keep her voice alive.
That's really sweet. That's awesome. You're making me tear up.
Oh.
That that was really heartfelt. Glad you're doing that. I know she's up there being like, thank you, thank you, thank you, girl. Keep doing us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, next question I have is how did you well, it's another book deal question. So, we'll move on to the next one is what important advice would you give a first-time author?
Just write. Don't think about it. Just get it down some way, shape, or form. If you do voice notes, if you just have notes in your phone, laptop, paper, notebooks, just write. Write. Don't worry about trying to perfect it. That's why we have editors, just write. That's it.
I agree. Just right. Okay, so the next question is what inspires you to write? But
What inspires me to write? I feel like everybody has a story to tell.
Mhm.
Um, I have a very vivid imagination. Like when I go to sleep and I dream, I can literally see what I dreamt about. And no, I may not remember each and every detail, but I get the gist of it. So I'll write it down. And my style of writing is cinematic. So when you read Closure or Beautifully Shattered, you can see everything as you're reading it. So,
I like that.
mhm.
Next question I have is when did you first realize you wanted to be a writer?
Probably in high school, I did a Center for Writing elective, and we got to write like little short stories and poems. And it was a release for me. Like a lot of things I didn't feel comfortable saying out loud, so I would write it. It's very therapeutic for me. And then once I really started going through life, like I got diagnosed with lupus, and then, with lupus came joint replacements and organ failure. And it was hard to kind of verbalize what I felt and what I was going through. So it was easier for me to write it down. And then I was just like, I've been sitting on this kind of gift for a long time. So now I have ample opportunity to make good of it. So I just really honed in and started writing.
Proud of you. That makes me so happy. So, because I understand life's real hard. So, yeah, not I haven't had like a lot of health problems like that. I mean, I've had surgery 2 years ago, like major surgery. It was emergency surgery, like it had to be done. Or I would have died. So, yeah, I understand. Some situations just happen. So, but I'm proud of you
Hmm.
for
Thank
continuing.
you.
You're welcome. And thanks for continuing so I can do this with you. So, all right. The next question I have for you is what is your favorite books to read?
I really like fiction books.
Hmm.
Like I like to kind of like read fiction to get out of my own world into somebody else's world. It can be um urban romance I read. I read a lot of um fantasy books. I like vampires and I like um yeah, I'm kind of geeky that kind of way where I like vampires and aliens and kind of like going back into time.
Yeah.
So I like that kind of stuff. But don't get me wrong, I love me a good spicy romance too. Yeah.
Yeah, I like fantasy as well. I'm big into vampires, werewolves, because I hate to say this, but I've said it on my other videos. When I was in high school, Twilight came out. So that's what formed me, I feel like, into liking the vampires and werewolves, because I watched like the Vampire's Diary and
hmm
original and stuff like that. So
hmm
yeah.
I could not for the life of me get into Twilight. I could not. I was just like,
Yeah.
what's the big hype? For me, it was Underworld.
Yeah.
I love that series. I was just like, yep, and that's what got me. That's what really got me. That and True Blood.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I just
hmm
feel like the reason why I kind of got stuck and su or sucked into that whole thing was I had a crush on Taylor Lautner. I was
Gotcha.
team Jacob. So, but then like I got older. I mean, I liked the vampires, but I didn't like those vampires. So I wound up finding Damon and it's like I like Damon Salvatore. So there's my vampire and werewolf kind of combination.
Yeah.
So but yeah, that's my little fantasy world I like being in. So, but okay, the next one is how important is book reviews?
Book reviews are everything. Book reviews to me are everything because for me, it lets me know what the reader liked, what the reader didn't like. Did the reader understand? Did the reader follow the story? Did the reader feel like I was all over the place?
Right.
So for me, I like it because it helps me improve.
Yes.
It helps me know what my audience likes. Did they feel, did I trigger emotions, things like that. So book reviews, love them, need them, appreciate them.
Good. Yes. I'm with you. Book reviews, good or bad. They're
Mm-hmm.
because
Yep.
even the bad is good. It shows you what you need to improve on. So don't even give
Mm-hmm.
us a bad. Just say good both ways.
Yeah. It's
Honestly.
critique, we
Hmm.
gotta deal with it.
Yes.
Nobody's perfect. So
Hmm. That
yep.
is true. All right. The next question I have for you is what is your favorite part of being a writer?
Pulling people into my world and tugging on their heartstrings, making them feel like I can't stand this character. She get on my nerves. Or, oh my God, I love that love story. That is so beautiful. Stuff like that. So I just like to trigger emotions out of people.
I like that. That's a good idea because I feel like if you can't, because when I wanted to write, I started writing when I was in high school. I'm thinking, well, everybody loves love stories. So let me just think of my love stories that I'm never going to have. And I would just write them down. And now I'm seeing that everybody is starting to like everything. So it doesn't matter. So now I can pick my own genre now. But I mean, I have so
hmm
many little high school love drama stories that I made up. Like, I don't know. Eh, that's me though. So the
hmm
next question I have is, what makes a great story?
What makes a great story? Mm, I want to say the completion of it, like the flow, the beginning, the middle, the end. Like I I love a good completed full on story. but I don't write that.
Mm.
I write cliffhangers. So it's just like what I love. Yes,
Yeah.
I do. But do I do? No, I like to mess with people. Like I said, I like to trigger people. So I will end on somebody having to make a life or death decision, and that's it.
Mhm.
And then that's this the end.
Oh.
But why I like it is for the same reason that I write. It triggers people to where people will
Yeah.
leave a review and be like, no effing way. Like, where's the rest? Is there a part two? So it kind of leaves that door open for me to continue on or to write something else.
I like that. I really like that answer because I've never even thought of it that way. Like you can leave cliffhangers for books. I normally just finish the book because that's how we got taught in school. So I don't know. I mean, I feel
Yeah,
like I was so formed in my little school brain that now since I'm older, I'm like, oh, you can expand. Like it's not just
listen, being an author, you can do whatever you want, however
yeah.
you want. Like for me, writing is very therapeutic. You
Hmm.
have pissed me off and I can't do what I want. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write something. I'm going to kill you. And guess what? There's no consequences of me killing you in a book. So it's kind of dark, but hey, it helps me.
Yeah. I mean, some people got to do what they got to do. So I agree.
Listen, like Kevin Hart said, somebody had to go.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, all right. Next question I have, moving along, is what's the most surprising thing you learned while writing your books?
The most, how expensive it is. I
Yes.
did not know because I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I can write it.
Hmm.
And then I write it, I go over it 6 times. Then I send it to an editor, and they're just like, yeah, no, we got to redo this. So then I gotta pay them to make those corrections. Then I have to pay for, like I said, the covers of the books.
Mhm.
Then you have to pay to print your books. Then you have to pay to ship your book. And if you're extra like me, you're gonna throw little gifts and whatnots in when you ship your book. So you gotta
That's
pay for
so
that
cute.
too.
Yeah.
So then you gotta pay for marketing. You have to show up to these book events and things like that. That's not cheap either. I was just like,
Mhm.
yeah, this is not for broke people. It's really not.
No, it's not. Um, one good thing though, kind of like for me anyways, is like the artwork. I mean, I can design my own artwork or take photo because I think using photos, like using what's around us, the planet for me anyways, for certain books. Like one of
Mhm.
my books I wrote is like about the United States, so it's about every single state of the United States. So I figured a picture of the United States or whatever good would be good. So, but all right, let's move this along. I have, it looks like two more questions, and then we can talk a little bit about your books.
Mhm.
And I'm hoping the power doesn't go out because I didn't know it was supposed to like thunderstorm, but it's coming down pretty hard. So,
Oh
hey,
wow.
yeah, it's Missouri weather. What do you expect? So, how do you handle writer's block?
I write something else.
Yeah.
Like if I get stuck
Hmm.
on one story, I'll just go because I have so many that I've started
Right.
because I'm scatterbrained, I'm all over the place, and I get
Hmm.
inspiration through everything. So I have multiple
Yeah.
things at one time. So if one story is giving me an issue where I just can't move forward, I'll go to something else because I feel like if I'm not into what I'm writing, it's not going to flow properly and it's not going to reach the readers the way I want it to. So I will leave that and I will go right to something else.
I like that. That's how I kind of am too. But also, like, I'm cooped up in one book. Like, I gotta finish this book because I don't know. But yeah, the needing to stop a book and start another one, that's what's helpful for writer's block. I have noticed because I have done that here recently. So, because I quit focusing on editing and fixing up all my high school stories. And now, since I'm older and I've actually started and almost done with 50 Shades of Grey, I know I'm like so behind on it, but I've watched the
Question,
movies beforehand. I just haven't read the books. So,
question.
yes.
Have you read Christian's version of the
No,
50 Shades?
that was after, so I'm on the 50 Shades Free, the last one. So then I was gonna
Okay.
read his version. He's the next one. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but again, I have a few other books I have to read for my podcast in between. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I love doing that, reading other people's book, but also I'm like, I'm so into this book, I need to finish it. Like, I want to know what his version is, like what comes
Mm-hmm.
out of it. Like, to me, there should be three versions for him, I would think. Why is there only one book for him
Oh,
and
there's
three other
three.
books with movie? Like,
There's three. There's three. I
oh,
have all three of his.
okay, well then I need to find the other two. I thought there was only one. Okay, I
No,
gotta
it's
find the.
three.
Okay. Okay, good. Because I was like, why is there only one book of him? There's three books. There's no way we cram three books in one book out. No. So, okay. Well,
Mm-hmm.
thank you for informing me of the other two. Because again, I thought I was done. I was like, oh, I got one book to go. That's great. So, no.
Nope.
Two more. So, all
Mm-hmm.
right. Well, the last question I have for you is if you didn't write, what would you do for a living? Because I like to throw in a little fun question at the end.
If I wasn't writing, um, so when I was younger, I wanted to be a singer. I tried that for a while, and then I had my son, so I was just like, yeah, no, I like being a mom. I don't want to carry him around on tour and things like that. So I put that to the side. Then I do have my license in cosmetology, so but I am a medical receptionist, so it's like I don't even use my degree. So,
Oh, don't worry. That's how I kind of am. Like I went to high school for graphic design. I have my passport and everything through my tech school, and yet I'm just a state receptionist right now for schools in my state. But I'm like, it's something until I can graduate next year in May, get my bachelor's with business administration, minoring in English with emphasis on creative writing. And then this fall, I'm adding two more little small that's like a certification, but yet it's also going to equal a minor for marketing and digital marketing. So I'm like, I'm going to have a full thing. So I think I'll be good. But all right. So do you want to talk about your books for a little bit, a couple minutes, and then hop off here?
sure.
Okay.
Sure. So, my first one is Closure, which is a second chance romance.
Hmm.
It was a high school couple, typical high school stuff. They broke up. He moved away, and then he has the opportunity to come back home to further his career.
Hmm.
And leading up to him having to go back home, old feelings start to come back because he never really got over his ex.
Oh.
And they end up bumping into each other on the train.
Oh.
And, he's just like, well, it's been a while. Can I take you out? Can we catch up? And she's just like, as much as she wants to say no, she could never say no to him. So she agrees. And they meet up, they go out, and it's kind of like everybody put all their cards on the table. And he wasn't expecting a very big surprise out of her that kind of threw him for a loop. I don't want to say what it is because if I say what it is, then it's just like, oh, okay. But they end up getting back together, but he has a situation back out of town. And that situation that he has out of town, he's in a relationship and she's just like, okay, well, we still gonna be together. And he's just like, no, we're not, because she was the love of my life. So I'm gonna be with her. So then the current girlfriend is just like, no, that's not how this is gonna go. You're not just gonna leave me to be with her after I pieced you together from her breaking your heart. So it's a lot of toxic back and forth in a weird triangle kind of way. And at the end of that story, he has to make a life or death decision when it comes down to the love of his life. And then the second part of their story is called Beautifully Shattered, which is the backstory for the ex girlfriend, why she is the way that she is, why she's just like, no, you're not breaking up with me and going back with her. So we get her backstory and why she's so head over heels for him. And then that particular book focuses more on mental health and self harm, especially
I like
like
that.
in the African American community. Mental health is very hush hush. They
Yeah.
don't, we really weren't taught to go into therapy and talk. Everything is, oh, we're going to pray about it. But that doesn't work all the time. Yes, prayer is good, religion is great, but
Yeah.
sometimes
Therapy needs to be
prayer
done.
prayer is not all you need. You do need therapy and things like that. So I focus on that in Beautifully Shattered.
I like it.
Why, thank you.
You're making me want to read it, but also I also don't want to because y'all, I'm gonna cry. I hate crying. I cry enough. But that does sound fun
hmm
to read about though. So,
hmm
all right. Well, do you have anything else that you want to let us know before we go?
I will be partaking in the pages in the city, New York City, on July 26th. We are having a book event where it's a bunch of authors. You come out and see us. It's in Queens on Jamaica
Oh,
Avenue at the
fun.
Harvest Room. Um, September, and out here in South Carolina, we have a brown sugar and black romance event, September 12th in North Charleston. And then I do have a new release coming out in September. So I will start promoting that coming up. And yeah, just check me out, www.sanyephoenix.com.
All right, guys, you heard it. She's got plenty of stuff coming for us. So I'm excited and ready to share all of that with you. I'm going to drop all of her links and stuff down below as usual. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me or her. We'll be happy to help answer any of your questions. So thank you again, Sanye, for coming on. I'm so excited and stoked to have you
Thank
because
you
I
for having me.
of course. You're such a vibe. That's why I had to have you. I'm like, I love it.
Oh, thank you. All
You're welcome. So, all right. Thanks,
right.
everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.